ChatGPT has surprised everyone again. Recently, users noticed that the neural network became lazy, procrastinating, and suggesting people do the work it was asked to do. That's not the crazy part. It's the fact that the developers are assured that they had nothing to do with it and that the problem arose due to unpredictable behavior of GPT itself. What does that mean? Has the AI started to show signs of its own character or even consciousness? In this video, we'll analyze how GPT affects technology, our reality, and our future, what to expect from GPT-5, and what we know about GPT-6 and 7. We'll look back at the major achievements of OpenAI, and we'll also tell you if generative AI is dangerous and could lead to emergence of science fiction robots in the real world. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. We're going full throttle.
Who would have thought just a few years ago that today artificial intelligence would reach such heights and become so accessible? Moreover, with the help of neural networks, today you can create cool content for YouTube faster and at minimal cost. And you don't have to search for neural networks all over the internet to do so. All useful features such as AI writing, text-to-speech, AI talking photo, video editor, transcription, and subtitle alignment are already gathered in one place on DupDub. Using AI allows you to create a large amount of content in a short amount of time, which is especially important for those who are just starting their journey to success on YouTube. Advanced AI technologies are able to transform your script into speech, translate it into a text script to explore videos that inspire you, make your text more interesting for viewers, and become your co-author in creating original content. What's more, you can create your own avatar based on your photo, and it will read the text on the screen instead of you. It's worth mentioning that the technology gathered in the DupDub service is of high quality. This means that the text will match the avatar's lips movements. In addition, the speech itself is very lively and natural. You can invent and create a unique AI character and even choose the accent with which it will speak.
Wishing you a very happy new year. From all of us at Pro Robots, with warm regards, the Pro Robots team.
To tell you about all the features and capabilities that DupDub provides, you need a separate video, but it's better to just try it yourself. Follow the link in the video description and master neural networks to create unique and cool content.
ChatGPT has revolutionized AI and has become the fastest growing technology of our time, despite the fact that the world learned about its existence just over a year ago. Although the first and even the second model of GPT appeared much earlier in 2018, it wasn't until November 2022 that the neural network gained enough power to take off on a wave of hype into the stratosphere faster than Elon Musk's Starship. Almost every day since then, this technology has changed the world for better or worse. To figure out which is greater, let's look back at ChatGPT's chronology of the past 12 months. So, November 30th, 2022, OpenAI introduces ChatGPT, a large language model that can communicate with the user almost like a human. The persuasiveness of communicating with a neural network was so revolutionary that ChatGPT became the fastest growing user application in history. December 2022. Reviews of ChatGPT range from the most revolutionary technology of the century to the beginning of the end of humanity. The mass use of GPT to do homework, write scientific papers, and even self-medicate is drawing a barrage of criticism due to the neural network's tendency to hallucinate and create deep fakes. Sam Alman agrees with the criticism and states that ChatGPT is incredibly limited but good enough at some things to give a deceptive impression of greatness. Quote, "It's a mistake to rely on it for anything important right now. This is a preview of progress. We have a lot of work to do on reliability and veracity." End quote. January 2023. Top AI conference has banned the use of ChatGPT in submitted papers. A global debate begins about how to use GPT in businesses, organizations, and institutions so as not to fall victim to deepfakes or get sued for plagiarism. February of 23. Google invests $300 million in Anthropic, an OpenAI competition company founded by one of its previous employees. The big race for leadership in generative artificial intelligence begins. March 23. OpenAI unexpectedly announces the long-awaited GPT-4, which it calls, quote, the most advanced system to provide safe and more useful answers. GPT-4 improves on the underlying ChatGPT technology, allowing chat software to solve more complex problems with greater accuracy due to greater shared knowledge. It also added new capabilities such as accepting images as input and creating captions, classifications, and analysis. GPT-4 was also capable of writing code for websites and applications by drawing and processing long texts. By the way, an interesting fact and also a trend in the AI world, while the GPT-1, 2, and 3 as well as InstructGPT documents revealed the specific architecture and details of model training, no one knows the architecture, training, and number of parameters of GPT-4. As the AI world begins an almost desperate race, fewer and fewer companies are disclosing data about their neural networks, categorizing them as trade secrets. And this is despite the fact that politicians and public figures, especially in the EU, insist that companies disclose all the secrets of their technologies in order to make the results explainable and predictable. April of 2023, OpenAI CEO Sam Alman embarks on a nearly worldwide tour to promote ChatGPT, during which he also tries to diffuse criticism and panic about the technology. At the same time, Elon Musk, Steve Wozniak, and other tech gurus, researchers, and activists sign an open letter calling for a halt to further AI development for at least 6 months to develop safety mechanisms for humanity. At the same time, Italy becomes the first country to announce a ban on ChatGPT for data privacy reasons. May of 2023, OpenAI releases ChatGPT plugins for Plus subscribers, expanding features and continuing to attract users worldwide. June of this year, the AI race is heating up. Google Brain and DeepMind team up into, that's right, Google DeepMind, to accelerate development of its ChatGPT counterpart, announcing the development of GPT Killer, the Gemini neural network. DeepMind CEO Denis Hassabis says that the company will utilize the methods that helped AlphaGo defeat the world Go champion in 2016, giving it new planning and problem-solving capabilities. July of 23, users claim that GPT-4 has suddenly gotten lazier and more stupid. Developers deny the claim, saying the problem is the users and not the tech. Either expectations have grown, or because of more active use, the flaws of the neural network have become more visible, or it has become dumber because of the mockery of the users themselves, some of whom actively competed to see who could better confuse GPT by convincing, for example, that 2 times 2 is 5. At the same time, OpenAI was getting hit with copyright infringement lawsuits for training GPT. The company also had to disable internet search via Bing in ChatGPT Plus, as the neural network easily gave users free access to paid content on websites. Did you guys get to do that? August of 23, OpenAI launches ChatGPT for enterprises, and by acting as a catch-up rather than a race leader here, as other startups targeting enterprise audience have already launched their products. For example, Cohere offers businesses the development of customized large language models. Anthropic has partnered with Scale AI to develop enterprise-focused products, and so on. At the same time, OpenAI's annual revenue is approaching the $1 billion mark. September of 2023, OpenAI gives ChatGPT access to the entire internet. Did you know about this? Thereby removing limits to its knowledge. At the same time, the company recognizes that no one, not people, not the company's directors, not the tools they or other companies have created, are able to distinguish between the content created by ChatGPT and that created by people. And George Martin joins a long list of authors who have sued OpenAI for copyright infringement. At the same time, Alibaba opens up the Tongyi Qiwen AI model, its ChatGPT counterpart, to the public. October of 2023, OpenAI adds the Dolly 3 image generation for users of its ChatGPT Plus and ChatGPT subscriptions. In a blog post on its website, the company writes, compared to its predecessor, Dolly 3 generates images that are not only more visually vivid, but also more accurate in detail. Dolly can reliably display complex details, including text, hands, and faces. It also responds particularly well to extensive and detailed requests and can support both landscape and portrait aspect ratios. November of 23, on the eve of ChatGPT's anniversary, it seemed like a regular day at the office. Even the fact that Elon Musk's XAI unveiled its own Grok neural network failed to perk up anyone's ears at OpenAI. More so, Sam Alman hosted the OpenAI Dev Day conference where he presented GPT-4 Turbo, multimodal capabilities, helper APIs, and more. GPT's audience reaches 100 million active users per week, and then the thunder rumbled. Weird things started happening. The November 13th edition of VentureBeat published a story. In it, it described how the 6 directors of the non-profit organization OpenAI would determine when the company would achieve general artificial intelligence, AGI, that surpasses human intelligence. And if the board decides that the point of no return has already been passed, such a system would be excluded from intellectual property licenses and other commercial terms with Microsoft that apply only to pre-AGI technology. Okay, weird, but okay, fine. And suddenly, November 17th, OpenAI fires CEO Sam Alman and the creepy drama begins, which we looked into in the video in the description. Alman eventually returned and we all realized how important a part of our world GPT had become. Despite the fact that this technology screwed a couple of lawyers trying to save their time and got fake citations and misleading information for their cases. Or the fact that GPT is actively used to create fraudulent websites, dating site accounts, bots, and spyware. Or the fact that the neural network helped a TikToker ace a job interview at the American Military Industrial Corporation Lockheed Martin. Many can't imagine life and or work without GPT and are looking forward to the 5th generation of the model. Bill Gates stated that it's not going to be a sensation, but admitted that he could be wrong. It's known from Sam Alman himself that the company's developers are training GPT-5 not only on open information and combinations of publicly available datasets on the internet, but also on internal databases of many large IT companies that cooperate with OpenAI. GPT-5 is expected to be much more advanced than GPT-4. Moreover, the head of OpenAI does not dare to predict what the new neural network will be capable of, having earlier promised to create an AI that is not inferior to humans in communication and mental analysis. Alman believes that GPT-5 will be much more complex than GPT-4, and OpenAI developers expect new capabilities and skills to emerge from this neural network. So far, they are only trying to predict its abilities to account for the risks, but at this stage, it's, quote, a guessing game. At the same time, the company has already registered trademarks for GPT-6 and 7, which means that the developers still have ideas on how to improve their model further, or they're simply insuring themselves against competitors. Time will tell, so subscribe to the channel to stay informed. Moving on, what does ChatGPT mean for robotics? Will the model help revolutionize the field and create robots as smart as the best examples from science fiction? Let's break it down. First, natural language processing technology can definitely improve robot learning by synthesizing large amounts of training data, structuring and analyzing that data, and then transferring experience from one robot to another. Second, GPT can take robot interaction to a new level, and it's not just about chatting with Amika, it's about more serious and useful things. Instead of giving specific commands that have already been programmed or programming new ones, you can simply tell the robot what you want, and it will process that information into understandable and accessible instructions for action. For example, Unitree implemented ChatGPT into their robot dog companion Go 1, and it now responds better to its owner's speech and can even write simple code for itself for new actions corresponding to its will. A more complex project is being worked on by Google Research and Everyday Robots. In it, engineers designate a household problem to the robot, and it must literally think it through and figure out how it can solve it. For example, a person says that he's hungry or that there's dirt on the table, and that's it. The robot then thinks about what it can do about this problem. The robot in the Palm Saycan project chose the correct sequence of actions 84% of the time and successfully performed them 74% of the time. This is a bold decision as it allows the robot to choose how to act on its own, whereas today the vast majority of robots work in a controlled or partially controlled environment, where for all commands the robot has more or less clear instructions for action. And in this case, the key problem is that the instruction is simply safer when the robot is in human environment. Is this a problem of technology or our fears? The thinking is that until we can fully trust ChatGPT, still prone to hallucinations and deepfakes, introducing robots with them into our lives is on the shady side. One way or another, we are entering a new era of artificial intelligence development, and what this enchanted future brings us is largely up to us ourselves. What do you think? What changes will AI bring about, and what to expect from GPT-5? Leave your comments, share your thoughts, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to join us on Telegram. And always, stay tuned for more news from the world of high tech. Until next time, bye-bye.